Hi everybody, I'm Joey, and well, I haven't posted a full build video for a little while, and that's because I've just been so busy. The amount of work coming in at the moment is crazy, and actually I'm thinking about, I'm in the process of sorting out an assistant in my workshop, and so I've been doing a lot of research about employment rules and regulations and all sorts of things, and that has just taken up a lot of time. And also I've been doing a lot of small kind of boring jobs that I've been putting aside, and I thought I'll get them all out of the way in one go. None of them are worth filming and just need to be done because I have got a series of pretty large jobs booked up, coming up very soon, and a couple of them are going to be really fun projects. I can't wait to get started, and I get to buy a couple new tools, a couple of new hand planes for those jobs, so that's going to be pretty cool. But I had an interesting question emailed through to me just the other day, and I thought I might talk about that a little bit. And so the question was, it was from Jamie, I'll paraphrase the question, it was a little bit long, but essentially, what is the difference woodworkers in the southern hemisphere face as opposed to normal woodworking content from the US? And there's a good point raised there, really, because for the longest time, all woodworking content on YouTube came from the US. There's not a lot out there, even now, that's coming from other sources. There are some pretty cool channels coming from Russia and Britain and France, general European woodworking, but really the absolute bulk is coming from the US still. And I guess that can cause a problem for especially new woodworkers who are seeing brands and particular tools and thinking, how do I get that? I can't get that, say, here in New Zealand. And what are the alternatives, or what do I do to overcome that? Well, really there is an alternative that is just as good, I think, for every product that you might see out in an American woodworking video. So one of the things Jamie mentioned was glues. I use a lot of different glues. Well, yep, I use Titebond 2. It's a nice glue. It costs just about the same as any other PVA here in New Zealand. I get this from Carpetech. I think it's the only supplier that I know of in New Zealand that sells it. I like it because it has quite a short drying time, so I can clamp something up in the morning after lunch, take it out of the clamps and work on the piece. But just as good, and it's been around in New Zealand and certainly Australia for a long time, and I'm not sure about other countries in the southern hemisphere. I would have thought South Africa as well, possibly. Sally's Acrid here, they do just a regular PVA. This one is the Acrid here. It's waterproof. I guess it would be the same as Titebond 3. Costs the same as Titebond. Works great. It's white. So it has a bit of a long open time, which is good for bigger glue ups. And that is, I use it just as much as I use Titebond. Works great. Does exactly what it needs to. You're often hear a lot of people in American channels talking about the West System epoxy. That is available here, but it's not as common as the international brand of epoxies. Now I'll just grab that, see how often I use it. It's international Epiglass HT9000. This is part A, has a part B hardener, and it just has the pump top just the same as the wet system, and it's about the same cost. It does exactly the same thing. Also, I like, one of my favorite epoxies is this CRC Builder's Glue, which I think I've talked to you about before. It's really thick, kind of paste, putty-like glue. Doesn't drip around like the International and the West system can be pretty thin, even when you thicken it up. So I just get this from normal hardware stores, Australia and New Zealand, and Bunnings. I'm light at 10. Perfect, works every time. Also, sometimes it can be tricky to find the tools that are being used or seen on other videos in the Southern Hemisphere, at least. I've actually had a lot of questions about my chisels in the past. These are Stubai, made in Austria. Shot of the handle. And I really love these chisels, and they have a whole range of carving chisels as well as regular bench chisels. I got these from the Woodworks Book and Tool Company, and they're Australian based. Not sure exactly where, but they've got a really good website, an online shop. Obviously they'll ship internationally, and really good. Things like hand planes and about more high quality tools like Veritas. As far as I know, in New Zealand, the only supplier, the stockist, is Carbotech. But you can I have done in the past, is gone direct to Lee Nelson on their website and just bought from them. Yeah, you've got to pay some shipping, but you're buying direct from the manufacturer. It seems pretty good. Often we see things like Powermatic and Jet machines being used on US channels, and there are definitely equivalents, and you don't feel like you need to be they're the best in the game, because while they're very good tools, there are equally good tools out there. So certainly here in New Zealand and Australia, for the lower end machines, you're looking to go somewhere like Machinery House, and they've got really pretty affordable machines, and they're not bad at all, but they're not going to take really hard work 7 days a week. But it's a good place to start to get better than really budget stuff. So the equivalent of Powermatic here in New Zealand is probably Holytech. Well, certainly when it comes to bandsaws, and big bandsaws that are going to really work, and thicknesses, you're looking at Holytech or Felder, and Hammer, which is another brand which you hear a lot about. The Hammer is just a version of Felder. I think they're Swiss or German. I think they're German. Really good machines. You can get them here through Jack's Machinery. I'm not sure about Australia. I'm sure they would ship over to Australia anyway. And the other thing I thought should be talked about was timber. And here in New Zealand, there are two really good suppliers: BBS Timbers. They're in Whangarei, Auckland, and Christchurch. And Rosenfield and Kidson, who are in Auckland. They're a really massive importer, and really you can get anything you need, all the American timbers, European, African, South American timbers, everything you want. And BBS also do all your panels, birch ply, poplar core ply, you name it. The only thing we can't really get very easily is fancy veneers. which I've had to go direct to someone like Joe Woodworker in the States, and that was a really easy process, just ordering online, and it showed up in the mail. I have heard, my brother lives in Brisbane in Australia and tells me that there is a severe lack of good timber supply yards, because it seems like Bunnings are trying to take over the whole market. So I've heard a lot through comments as well that, where do I find good timber to work with? And in Australia, I don't know exactly, but there's a very good furniture maker, Anton Gurner, I think is how you pronounce his name, in Melbourne, and he has really working with fantastic timbers. So there is obviously a good supply in Melbourne at least, and surely they would ship around to wherever you are. It does seem a bit strange that Australia doesn't seem to have a lot of exotic timber supplies, because they certainly have a lot of nice timbers, and we certainly get blackwood and things like that over here. So yeah, anyway. So hopefully that little speech, little ramble helped someone out there. Like I say, I've got a really cool project coming up. Not exactly sure when that's going to happen, but it's going to be a fun one to do. So I'll see you then, and thanks for watching.